Okay, so basically, I'm going to be showing you how to make a morph. Now, all of this is completely optional. You can do whatever you want when you make a morph, but there's just some recommendations. Let's start with the ears. So for the ears, this is for completely Game Pass, free, by the way. I would recommend using ear tufts, but for if you want a shorter haired cat, actually. Unless you want it bald or extremely short, then I would do ear tufts. But I wouldn't do ear tufts if you want it fluffy, because I think that's just a bit too much fluff. I don't usually use the small ears, but when I do, I add fluff. And then for the torn ears, again, I don't usually use them, but I actually don't add fluff because the fluff sometimes pokes through. Okay, and so for this one, I'm going to do some ear tufts. And then for the eyes, so this one's tricky, it really depends. If you are wanting an older cat, I would do heavy eyes, or actually no, not heavy eyes, I would do grumpy eyes. If you want a Star Clan cat, then you can do these if you want, or just a blind cat. I don't usually do half blind. I just don't like it that much, but you can if you want to. I love to use the under eyelashes. I just really like them. There's these. I would use these for more sassy or evil cats. And then these are just for cats that have eyelashes. I'm gonna make an old cat right here. And then mainly just do whatever you want on here. Although I don't usually use this one. No reason. I don't not like it. I just don't usually have a need for it in my characters. So yeah. There's one thing that I want to say for your elder cats. I would recommend doing like more faded or more random markings instead of more like sticking out markings. And I would use brindle for your elders too. If you want like brindle for if you want a more detailed elder. And then for elders, I also like to use eye markings. Just makes them look a bit more smooth. And under eye markings too. Those are useful. Let's see. Okay, now that we're done with the face area, for now at least, remember this is Game Pass free, so we're not going to do the muzzle types. We're going to go down to ear accessories. I don't usually do ear accessories, but these are the ones I would recommend for elders. Petals. And that's it. Now for the fur. Now for elders, I don't usually do super fluffy ones because it's a bit harder to make fluffy cats when you don't have any game passes. But if you do make a fluffy one, then I would recommend using downward head fur. For now, I'm going to do this one. You can also do fluffy head face fur if you want to. That's also good. And I like to use the fluffy belly fur too. And the chin tuft. I usually do the top head fur for kits though. Okay, so this is most of the fluff done. Now onto the tail. So for this one, I'm gonna give mine a stub because I like to give stubs to elders. Yes, that's it. And then for these, I like to do the striped cuffs if it's a kitty pet. But if it's not a kitty pet, then I usually just add nothing. And then for the torso, really just do anything as long as it matches everything else in the whole theme you're going for. But I would recommend not doing too much detail because elders either have a lot of really faded detail or not very much detail but really bright colors. Oh, and hold on to that thought about bright colors. I like to use wheat fur for elders. I just like how it is. By the way, at the beginning I said this is for all cats. It's just for elders. I'm going to do different videos for the different types of cats. Yeah, so I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, now onto the scars. I usually give my elders either no scars or a bunch of scars. But I do want to say don't use every single kind of scar, okay? Only use some of them. It just doesn't look that good when you use all of them. And certain scars in certain places won't look right with the pattern, and the pattern might cover them up. So I would just wait. Now onto the neck. Again, I don't usually do anything if it's a wild cat instead of a kitty pet. Although sometimes when it's a wild cat, if it used to be a kitty pet, then I'll give it a collar. I don't usually do harnesses. Harnesses are more for kits. But yeah, every now and then I do a collar. I'm not going to do it this time. On to the most tricky part, the coloring. So for elders, like I said, to hold on to that thought, I usually do more dull colors. And most of the time I do the eyes last, but for now I'm going to start with the eyes. Yeah. I would start with the eyes because then you don't forget, like you color the eyes and then you close the eyelids so that you don't forget to do them. So mainly it just depends on what kind of cat you're wanting to go for. I'm trying to go for like a tannish colored cat since I do have one of those, but I don't like it very much. And okay, I like it, but it's not my best cat that I've ever done. So yeah. But basically, I am doing a little thingy that I don't know what it's called because it's completely made up and I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll be back when I'm done. Another thing that I do is I typically make the ear tips match the color that it's on, because it just looks out of place to me. Okay, I am done now. This is my character. I don't know their name yet, but they are an elder, I know that. But speaking of names, for elders, if you're making them to start off as an elder and always be an elder, rather than start off as, say, a kit or a warrior and then become an elder, then I would say, like, use more, like, terms that would be described as, like, old, or not as, oh, wait, I messed up. Which that reminds me, like, if you mess up, then don't just leave it, because trust me, it'll be noticeable if you leave it. So, and back to what I was saying, I would, if I were you, then I would probably do, like, names that, like, remind you of something old. Like, for example, you could use shriveled. Or you could use, say, like, let me think, wrinkle. Or, like, something along those lines. Or, like, scruffy. I'm gonna name this one, let's go with Shriveled Spot. There we go. I'm gonna name it Shriveled Spot. Go into load / save. And Shriveled Spot. Elder. Save. And boom, now I have Shriveled Spot.